Hi, Rach.
Hi, Ross. How you going?
Good. Welcome to the Artist Spotlight series.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So for those of you who don't know Rach Jackson, which is like, I don't know, maybe one of you, this is Rach Jackson and she's pretty amazing. For that one person who doesn't know who you are, can you run them through a little bit about you, where you live maybe, and what your art is like maybe?
Okay, well, I'm an artist from Ballarat, Victoria. I do abstract work, probably it's bright, pastel colours. It's very intuitive, so nothing really planned before I start. Who knows what's going to come out? I don't ever know what's going to happen when I start. I've been full-time for 2 years today.
Congratulations. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. What a milestone. Have you got anything exciting planned?
Nah.
Oh, you have to do something little even. I don't know.
I'm going to have beers with a friend.
Okay, all right. Well, that counts. Yes. Do they know that this is your 2 years?
Nah, I kind of hadn't even really thought about it. I put a reminder in my phone, so it popped up this morning. I was like, oh, cool. So
all right. I set you the challenge of telling your friend.
I will. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Got to celebrate. That's great. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. So what else do we need to know?
Well, let me ask you some deep and meaningful questions. So the last time we sort of connected on this sort of slightly deeper level was when you were in my blog, which was 5 billion years ago. I think it was a year and a half ago, maybe 2. No. I think you were already full-time, but you hadn't moved houses.
Yeah.
I worked out.
So moved houses a year and a half ago, went through a pretty big life change, which was pretty crazy. I didn't think it would affect my art so much, but it did. It was like a whole mindset thing,
wow.
Trying to keep my flow happening and that sort of thing was really tough.
That is so interesting. So I know a little bit, but I won't share anything ever. Yeah. So don't worry, you're in control of how much you share.
Yeah.
But I don't know many details, so I'm just going to speak from my experience.
Yeah.
I know for me, if I'm not feeling supported and safe, my creativity really struggles. It's like I can't take risks, or I just don't feel safe, and I just can't paint, and I can't create, and I can't come up with new ideas, and I can't make a mess, and I don't know, it's so weird.
Yeah. Well, mine, I guess I was a little bit opposite.
Oh, okay.
I painted as an escape for a long time. I was not a great time in my life, and painting really helped me. It was there for me when no one else was, really.
Yeah.
When things were hard. So, when I sort of got out of that situation, I found I was a lot happier and I had all this freedom. But it was just like, can I paint while I'm happy? I don't know how to do that,
That is so cool.
Opposite. So I'm kind of learning how to do that now, and a lot has changed with my work. But
I've seen your art change over time. It's still obviously Rach Jackson's work, but it's slightly different. It's got a slightly different flavor to it.
It's been interesting. I'm actually happier with my work now than I ever have been. But
yay, that's what they say. You should be, right? You should be happy with whatever you're producing at the time, right?
Yeah. Last year was a struggle though. I just wasn't really feeling it. I was trying still. I didn't give up. I was just, it just didn't flow as easily.
I wonder if it's a sense of purpose. So your purpose originally was, by the sounds of things, was escapism. And maybe you had a shift in that, art no longer needed to serve that purpose.
That's right.
And you needed to find a different purpose for it, maybe.
So now I'm just sort of learning how to do it because I really love it. Because I'm trying to sort of shut anything else out.
Yeah.
It's just because I love it.
Yeah. I can relate to a lot of that. So you're not alone, right? In different contexts and all of that. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, probably a lot of people could relate. And, turn to art when things aren't going well, or it helps.
Definitely. I think it's something like it's calming and it's soothing and it's something you can control, and it's something that's yours as well. I think there's a lot to be said for that. Now, you do beautiful original work, and you also have your prints, and then you went into tea towels as well, so on sort of homewares, I suppose. You've done collaborations. You're thinking about doing some murals. You represent, or is the word represent? Unipro, you collaborate with them. I don't know what's the word.
I work with them a little bit.
You work with them, okay.
Brushes, so always give them a plug and they share my stuff in return.
And so out of all of those things, is there a favorite form of your art that you have? You don't have to have a perfect answer, don't worry.
Always just getting in there and painting, just getting in the zone and just painting for the love of it. When you get in the zone, you're just like, there's nothing else.
That's flow state.
Yeah.
And do you like to work big? Like, is that your preference?
Yeah, but I've worked all different sizes, from 20 by 20 centimetres to then like 1.8 metres long. And I do like working big though. Sometimes it's a bit daunting. You don't know where it's going and like how you're going to bring it all together, but it's fun.
Do you find that you have a different strategy for painting big? Because I find personally, and correct me, I do not pretend to do anything the right way. But for me, I find the bigger I go, the more planning I have to do.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. I don't think I really ever have a plan. And, all my work starts out really different. Like, as in, like, each piece I might start completely different, and I don't know where it's going to end up. But it probably starts completely different than what it ends up usually most of the time.
And is that still the case for your bigger works?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Unless I'm doing a commission where they want something that looks similar to a particular piece, and then I kind of try to remember how I started that and go through those steps. But usually it's just like I'll often paint something and then the next time I get to it I paint over it completely.
Oh, okay. So on this makes me think about a lot of my beautiful art members in my art membership who are scared to use high quantities of supplies.
Yeah.
Is that not something you face at this stage, I suppose?
No, I use cheaper paint for the first couple of layers, and then I'm not worried about that. And then it usually I do that because I like to build up depth and texture, and little bits will show through in the end piece. But I don't want to be stressing about that I'm using too much paint.
That's an awesome strategy for people, because that's I hear it so often, people who are worried about using not worried about using too much supplies, but they're just very, very controlled in the quantity of paint that they use.
And it's expensive. So I understand you don't want to paint something and then it's just covered up. That's,
But then not to have that freedom is a shame as well.
I couldn't do it.
Interesting. So, Rach, if you're using lower grade or lower cost paints for your first layers, is that student grade, or is it just a brand it's still professional, but it's just a brand that's not as expensive?
It's more of, I guess, your hobby sort of.
Yeah.
It's Montmartre. I use Montmartre.
Okay.
Because my parents own a shop and we stock Montmartre. So
that's a good idea. That reminds me, what's that other artist? There's an artist who owns, I don't know, Sydney art store or something.
Yeah.
And he paints in it. What's his name? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I've seen he uses an insane amount of paint.
Yes. And I'm like, it's because you own the bloody shop. Like,
that's anyway. Very expensive paint that he's using. Oh,
it's the opposite. Okay, all right, cool. So I wanted to ask you, or dive a little bit deeper on this collaboration side of things, because I know that you've done some jigsaws and worked with fabric printers and all of that before. Like, how has that experience been for you?
It's been really, really fun. Like, it's pretty surreal, actually. I've been lucky in that I haven't had to approach anyone for those opportunities. I've just, like, they've found me through Instagram usually. So yeah, and I don't know, it's cool. Like, they've usually used a piece of work that's already done, except for the fabric one, that was all done digitally. So that was done specifically for it. But yeah, it's kind of felt like a little bit of a bonus. Like, I haven't had to do any extra work, but it's on these new products, and like there was a jigsaw in Target, so that was pretty cool to see that. Like,
yes,
Target.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Like, getting your name out as well, you know, in and art in different forms, because I think like take money out of the equation, right? Like, take money out. But some people just don't have the space for heaps and heaps of artworks, or walls are full, or, you know, and art in other forms, I think, has a lot of value.
Yes, that's right. And a lot of people aren't art people as well. Like, and I told you about this, but I've got a collaboration coming up, which I think will be perfect for people that don't collect art, but they like cool things, you know, like, so I can't say anything much at the moment. But
make sure that you go over to Rach's Instagram account. Will you be sharing on Instagram?
Absolutely, I will.
So go over to Rach's Instagram account to check out what she's doing, and I'll teach you a little bit of a trick as well, audience. If you go up to, on Instagram, you go onto Rach's account, follow her, and then you go to the top right-hand corner where the bell is, click the bell and click that you want to be informed when there's a new post, and that means that you'll definitely be kept in the loop. So Rach, what was your Instagram handle again? Sorry.
It's
oh no, Rach, you do not have to check.
It's Rach. I think it's got a dot. I just was checking if there's a dot. Yes. Rach.jackson.art.
So for those people who haven't come across Rachel, this is quite funny because Rach has 51.9k followers and she can't remember her account name. Rach, so there's actually an underscore afterwards.
Yes, I had to put that in there because last year it was like, you know what Instagram's like, with it goes up and down and whatever, but last year was like I was shadow banned for a few months and I couldn't figure out what was happening. I couldn't reply to people's comments.
Wow.
And, you know, anytime anyone tagged me in something, it would just delete the comment. And I figured out that if I added that, changed my name slightly, then I was back.
Oh, wow.
So that's why there's
for artists like you, who, I mean, I don't know how much you rely on Instagram, but for artists like you who have a big social media following, when something like that happens, that's bad. I'm sorry that happened. That's really bad. I'm trying not to swear.
Instagram's been terrible the last year probably.
Yeah.
Changing and you can't keep up with it, and then I think they just need to go back to where it was.
Yeah.
And, you know, like a lot of people will probably agree.
Yeah.
Go the photos. Stop trying to be TikTok.
Yeah, I know. It's all about competition, isn't it? But I mean, the good thing for you though is that you have a website. So it's not just Instagram. And then you also have an email list, because I get your emails too. So thank you. Because I think that's really important. I don't think anyone should ever put all their eggs in the one. Yeah. Any basket one, but especially a basket that's out of your control. Like, you can't control Instagram.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it's
so
really good
that's
to
good.
get exposure, and you just hope that people are seeing what you're posting. But,
yeah. No, but that's awesome. So with your email list, do you offer people anything, like people who join your email list, do you offer them anything to join, like a discount or anything like that?
I have done stuff like that in the past. I probably should do something like that again.
Yeah, but not at the moment.
I haven't got anything like that at the moment. No.
So for people who are listening, if you would like to join Rachel's mailing list, you don't get a discount, but what you do get is access to the insider information, because I know, Rach, that you sent an email not that long ago about an end of financial year sale.
Yeah.
So I'm sure your email list hears about stuff like that first.
Yeah.
So hop over to Rachel's website to join the mailing list. Do you like this? Is that my help? What else? Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Yes. So you're a master of social media, though. Like, you do really well on there.
Yeah, I think like I started it out just over 2 years ago, just before it was the start of 2020. I'd had probably about 300 followers at the start, and that was just kind of what I'd sort of got for a few years. I'd been doing animal portraits before that. So I had maybe 300 followers, and then I decided to really get into abstract, and just posted like every day pretty much, and my following just slowly built. But it went a bit crazy. When was it? The start of 2021. I had one of my reels went viral.
Yes, that's the way.
It was crazy. Got about 20,000 followers in a week. So,
what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I better keep up on my bloody reels. Oh, I need to not swear. I think it's been a long day here already. And so
that's not a swear.
If that's not a swear word, it's just, uncouth. My mother, if she heard me, she'd be shaking her head, That's awesome. That's really good. That's great.
Yeah. So that kind of kicked it off a bit more, and built it up, and it's kind of stayed pretty steady for the last year or so.
Yeah.
Like you sort of gain and you lose, and
and I think that in the end, we've got to remember that Instagram and Facebook as well, I suppose, if you're pushing, if you dominate, sorry, what am I trying to say? If you're focusing on that side of things, they're designed to help you, like they're tools, but not, not absolutely, not the be all and end all, but they're tools. And then I've also seen you doing Procreate stuff, or am I making that up?
No, I do that. That's where I did the designs on for the material.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
What
about you, fancy pants? How do you find Procreate? I haven't got it yet. I really should probably give it a crack. You do?
It's really good. Yeah, you can just sit there at the end of the night and just draw, like if you feel like doing something but you don't want to get all the paints out and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been coming up with some repeat patterns to hopefully put on my website for licensing at some stage. So
licensing is a good one. I've been chatting with another artist called Sammy Sparrow, and she does a lot of licensing work. She recommends Spoonflower. If you don't want to do the private, what is it, private licensing, but the where you approach companies with a lookbook and all of that. If you don't want to do that, she recommends Spoonflower.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Have you've heard of Spoonflower then?
Yeah, I have. I haven't really looked into it at all though.
It's one of those things. You got to be ready for all these new. You got to be, the timing's got to be right, I think, for these.
Yeah. Things. Well, I've just really decided to come up with a few, because I get approached every now and then by small companies wanting to buy, a pattern or whatever to use with their products. So if I have some ready, then it's a bit easier, and I can just see if they like it, or I can do something custom.
Yeah, beautiful. And so I'm also conscious that the people who are watching today, hello people who are watching, they're likely to be aspiring artists, so creatives who love to make art. They might not call themselves artists yet, but they probably caught themselves dreaming about it, that sort of a thing. How did you sort of get started with your art business? And how did it sort of unfold?
Yeah, because I remember listening to podcasts and stuff like this with other artists and thinking, you know, that it was never going to happen. But I don't know, something just switched in my brain one day, and I thought, if they can do it, why can't I? Like, if I work hard enough, then why can't I?
And if you
that
want
was
it,
the biggest thing. Like, it was just thinking, well, I can do it, you know, and just working towards it. But yeah.
Beautiful. So it's like the belief, basically, or knowing what you want and then believing you can achieve it.
Yeah. I used to think that I'd be an artist when I retired. So now it's like, oh my gosh, I have to keep doing it.
This is my job. Like,
yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's awesome. Hey, Rach, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Rob.
Pleasure. Do you have anything, you know, any sort of motivational advice, like as your, you know, final words on this interview today? Do you have any motivational advice for people who are watching who might, like I was describing, sort of getting started, caught themselves dreaming? Yeah,
well, I guess that's the main thing, is just believe you can do it. It's not like an impossible job, which, you know, a lot of people think it's impossible, but it's not. There's a lot of opportunities out there. So just, you know, just do what you're feeling like. Just create your work and put it out there so people can see it, and you never know. Like, you just never know what will happen.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's a good one. You just never know what will happen. And it's just so true. I think it's about the universe, isn't it? You know, just put out the message and see what happens.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think I'm very emotional at the moment, Rach. Like, pull it together, woman. That's really lovely. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
And where can people find you? So we've done your Instagram account, so rach.jackson.art_.
Yeah, and then Facebook, you can just search Rach Jackson Art.
And you've got a website.
Yeah, you can find all those links on Instagram and on Facebook too. So.
Beautiful. And you've been in lots of podcasts as well, I'm pretty sure. So you could probably Google.
Just the one.
Oh, just the one? Really? Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we got to work on that. I know another podcast host. Working on it. We'll get you scheduled in, Rach.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll chat to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Roz.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.